Okay.
So peep it out, right?
I
So
usually don't know how to. I, I guess it's
so they went fucking.
all right.
What's up?
Is this the one where I immediately got a?
Yeah, you did. So
Dude, your information was just. Mwah.
yeah, yeah. It's because I saw her just hanging out here. So on defense, right? They're on
Ready for
Diva,
battle.
and a big reason you pick Diva on this map is because what positions do you want to fucking hold on this map, right? You want to hold all the high ground, right? You want to hold this shit, like in like up here, right? Because these are
Yeah.
really good power positions, right? Like you
Yeah,
just
they
have,
can't access you.
yeah, you can't.
You
It's
get
hard to
that mind
access
cover.
you, and you have really good sight lines, right? But the way
Yes.
this is sort of balanced is it's super far away from the cart, right? So the cart just keeps going. They can't stall it, right? Like yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they can shoot you all they want, but you're still pushing the cart. So the reason you pick Diva in this kind of situation is because it's super easy to just drop down, stall the cart, let your team kill everything from up here, and then you fly back up when you don't need
Mm-hmm.
to be anchoring cart. So that's a big thing with tanking is depending on the map, a lot of times it's the tank's job to anchor the cart, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah.
so Diva in this case is super good at that. She could just fucking every time.
This is the
Like,
most
look,
favorite
she's
thing.
anchoring the cart
Besides,
right here.
besides
Like, she
Funky.
anchors the cart, runs away, gets healing, right? Fucks around a little bit. Anchors cart. Okay. Okay, I don't know what she's doing there. That's insane. Okay. That was a bad example.
Yeah, that was
Okay, but here you go. See? She chops down, anchors cart for me. While our team just gets shot at from the top, right? See, we just slowly get dismantled while she drops on cart and stalls it. And that's part of the reason why Roadhog on defense didn't really work. Because obviously when you drop down to stall cart, like you are here, what do you gotta do? You gotta climb this rock back up to get back up here. Or you gotta go fucking up these stairs, wrap all the way around here, jump up here, get up here, whee, right over here, right? Like,
And since I'm on Hog, they can just kind of ignore me.
yeah. And it's just that's a big point in this game is that, and I feel like this Nepal game is very indicative of it as well. So, for example, like you remember every time we play Paul Village, right? I always tell you to go top,
Top
right?
right, yeah.
Always go top.
Because if they want to go for point, then we can.
Yes,
We have high ground.
exactly, exactly. So this game, a lot of this game is understanding when to stay on the power position and when you need to drop. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you always want to suckle as much value as you possibly can out of this fucking power position, right? That's why you'll
Yeah, it's
always
like
see me.
half
Yeah, you'll always see me try to cap last second. And you know, sometimes you C9 and that's just unlucky. That's just a skill issue, right? That's all that is. But, and I think this first fight showcases this idea of power position and how it just isn't worth it to go to the point most of the time.
because they gotta go.
Yeah,
lower,
see that
or they gotta
brig?
go through that
See the brig is split. Has to go to the point.
She's probably staying group up with me right now.
Yeah.
And they won't listen.
She splits.
The objective is now.
We're on the power position. She's just alone. We all look at this. Look at this. Like a half-pound pack of animals. Just
Yeah, really
like
rough.
it's insane. We see now they have the power position, but
That was a turbo communication issue. I guarantee you, her movement made me think, okay, she's definitely saying group up with me over and over, and they're not listening.
yeah. So now we're fighting for the power position back, but since we're at an advantage, it's easy. And since they're split, you know, we just get an easy retake on it. So now we could just fuck with them from up top. See our honor and soldier up here can just do whatever the fuck they want. Okay, they all drop. Okay, this is fucking diamond. This is insane. Yeah. And then this is another. I feel like Nepal is a really good map for this most of the time. Wait, this is still this map? Are you serious?
I think the Horizon moon base was the like epitome of vertical domination.
Oh yeah, definitely. And everybody
And that's
hated
why
it.
it sucked so much ass
Yeah,
to play on
everybody
attack.
hated it. So with this map, right? Always go over here. You know what I'm saying? And it's for the exact same reason. It's just, you know, depending on the map, it's it's a little bit different every now and then. You know what I'm saying? So on that map, it's you can't really see on the point, but you can protect how to get to it. You know what I'm saying? So once they're
Yeah.
on point, it's kind of hard for you to abuse the high ground, but so you kind of have to drop onto it. But you can make it really hard for them to get onto the point to begin with. You can force
Yeah.
them to use abilities before they get a fair fight, essentially. And but with this point, you always want to go over here and take the fight over here because if some chimp ass brain motherfucker goes to the point, well, all your team is just gonna look. Oh, okay, I'm gonna shoot that fucker from here. What the
And
What the fuck
unlord.
is that guy doing? Yeah, like what the fuck is that guy doing out there? I'm
And
just gonna kill his ass.
his only escapes are completely off point too. They
Yes.
trap themselves if they go in that
Yes,
room, and
if he goes back here, he's just kind of fucked. If well, what is he gonna do over here? You think we're not gonna keep shooting him? Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, so it's just kind of a death sentence to be on point when it's not safe, essentially. And when we cap this point, that's the beauty of like a lot of these maps and how they're designed. Is once you have the point, you don't have to be on it anymore. Like, in fact, a lot of times you really don't want to be on it anymore because if you're on here, if we're just defending it from here, then we're just gonna get shot at from here and over here. And like it's just what it is. So what you do is you cap the point and then you hold these doors. Or so what you do is you hold these doors, and depending on how much pressure you're getting, if you feel like you're using too many resources, that's the thing as well is when you're managing space, right? Think about how much space you're managing. So when you're holding this far up, right, like right here, you're managing this right here, right? You're like managing all of this right here. Once you start getting like a lot of abilities forced out of you and stuff, like your shield is starting to get cracked, so you have to hold it down. You've already used your nade. Maybe I've already used speed boost, right? Like you gotta fall back a little bit. Let them have this space, so that way you only have to defend this. You know what I'm saying? And this takes a lot less resources to manage, and it gives you more room to try and force them out. So we're trying to force abilities right here, and then once they come out here,
nobody can
we're
make any
still
deep pushes because
yeah
you're on Lucio. It's that threat of getting pulled off
yeah. So it's
of the
just
cliff.
a lot of Overwatch maps are designed with this idea in mind of there is a balance you have to strike with power positions and the point presence essentially, where a lot of times the tank is going to be the anchor, so that's most of the time going to be you. Most of the time you're going to be the one that touches or anchors the point while everybody else
Yep.
shoots from above. Unless
Yep.
you have a tracer. A lot of the times normally the tracer is the anchor because the
Yeah,
tracer
she can get in and out really fast.
yes, she's so slippery, and a lot of the times there's health packs near the point, so she's even more fucking like unkillable. She
Here
can
it's a bit brutal because the health pack
yes, like
is in a
this is
complete
a point where I would
awful place.
say Tracer kind of struggles to anchor it as much as a tank does, but I would say anybody struggles to anchor this point, just because
Yeah. It's the absolute low
yes,
ground. There's no
yes,
lower ground.
there's no cover. It's all just you're just in the open. Like there's you're gonna struggle to anchor this on any character, and I feel like another we didn't play it, but again I'm gonna pound it in your fucking noggin here, because this is a really like important part, honestly, of Overwatch that I feel like doesn't get talked about a lot. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, no.
And maps like that are wild cards because if I'm so hog pilled that if I'm on a hog, I'm playing it completely differently because I'm solely hunting for enviros because it's a huge amount of downtime. So if I miss, it's like a huge letdown because that's all that setup for nothing. But if I do get it, that's just someone removed from the game.
Yeah,
Like
this point
it's just
isn't super great to demonstrate this because I feel like a lot of the better positions are like more like this. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah. Multiple quarters.
yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
instead
different.
of playing around the high ground kind of positions, you're playing around corner kind of position. Because once again, if you're out here, you're kind of fucking dead. But this point is weird, and that fact that you can actually play on point a lot.
Yeah, because there's a giant pylon.
Yeah, and there's just like that's not a really good high ground. I've tried it. It's not a very good high ground. This is decent. It's not bad, but it takes a long time to get there. Like, look at this. I'm on fucking Tracer right now. Yeah, now I'm on high ground. Like,
But this would be the perfect map for D.Va. You can't really be walled, and you can't, and you have immediate access to this high ground.
well, I would argue that it probably isn't great for D.Va because you don't really need this high ground. This high ground isn't super important. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So instead, I would rather tanks that are good on the point. We're talking Junker Queen, we're talking Zarya, we're talking
good
shit like
brawlers,
that.
good
Yeah,
killers.
we're talking some brawler motherfuckers. Like, because they're realistically this point is very simple in that there isn't a lot of power positions to play around. So it's just kind of a slugfest. And brawl characters are just better at slugfests.
Yeah.
This isn't the one I wanted to show you. That is a very simple map where it's just slug on slug.
I think Samoa is perfect for this.
It's time
Yeah.
to save the world.
I actually don't. I actually kind of like Samoa, honestly.
I also
Yeah.
like Samoa.
So
I've
on
never
this
had
point,
a bad experience with Samoa.
this is another one of those ones where, like, the point makes you feel safe, but it isn't. Like, if you're holding this corner right, it's just like, say you're Reinhardt, right? You're swinging. Whoa, whoa. Well, you take a little too much damage. Your shield's about to break, right? Where the fuck are you gonna go? You're gonna hide here? They're just gonna push around the corner, right? They're just, oh,
Yeah, they can
hello,
push, and they
dickhead.
can push around the other corner too and pinch
Yeah.
you.
So it's like, I don't know. I feel like you have to be very careful with your resources on shit like this. Like with Junker Queen, for example, I would instead play like, you could do this honestly, but I would play more like right here maybe, and then do a little pokey over here, right?
Constant cycling.
Yeah, and if you, let's say you land a knife right here, right? Like, oh, I landed a fucking knife, right? And you're pulling somebody towards you and you axe them, so you're over here now, right? Well, and let's say they get bubbled or some shit and they get saved. Suzu'd maybe. Then you have to save your shout to fucking run away. You know what I'm saying? Shout is Shout is super versatile in the fact that you can either use it for crazy offense. It's exactly like speed. You can either use it for insane offense or good defense. Like, so if you're in a shit position and you're like, okay, I need to get the fuck out of here, you shout, right? And
It gives you that extra bit of health too to get away.
And you need to think about that. Like when you're going for this, when you're shooting here, like you're like, okay, I don't need shout, I don't need shout, I don't need shout, I don't need shout. I hit the knife, I still don't need shout. I miss the swing, I still don't need shout. Now I'm taking a shit ton of damage. I need shout, right? So like,
motherfucker.
so that's how that works. Where can it please give me the other point? My fucking god.
I'm in mid diamond here.
I don't give a shit.
That's so good.
I don't care.
I am always ready to learn.
Actually, it's
Ranks.
not very good because that means I can't play tank anymore in comp.
Ranks fucking meaningless to me.
Okay, here we go.
Well, it's more
It's time to
being
save
able to
the
play
world.
competitive. I have had better experiences in competitive than
Alright, Gabe.
normal games.
Now, what do you think about this point?
Yeah, this is brutal. It's
Yeah.
just a big cup.
Yes, a big fucking death trap of soup, right? So you want to take this point and then never touch it again, right? Because that's just a bad idea to drop down there. And the only reason you would ever drop down there after you cap it is to anchor it, right? So,
Yeah.
and if you're anchoring it, that means they're also down there with you, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So,
You want to
exactly.
just avoid down there.
Yeah,
The
you
most
wanna-
tragic about it is that you just need to be down there to be able to
Yeah.
not give it up.
So that's why a lot of times in like high level lobbies and shit, you'll see everybody fight over here. And even if somebody already owns this point, they'll fucking fight it out and then go cap. Like it's not one of those things where, oh, we're putting point pressure on. Oh, it's like no, you can't really put point pressure on because you're just gonna get fucking shot at.
Yeah, you're just putting pressure on
Like
yourself.
this is the best place to fucking hide, and motherfuckers, it's not like it's very difficult to fucking look, because you even have cover right here. Like this is a good ass spot to sit anyway. This, if I was on Ash, this is exactly where I'd sit. Like, so yeah,
Because there's no way to immediately get to you.
yeah, and it's just a bitch, man. Like, so that's what I'm thinking. Like, Just understand like when to anchor and stuff. What I'm saying. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong or anything. I just, you know, I feel like nobody's ever
Well,
put emphasis on it. So
well, hearing this, I can also like remember times where I fought over this point and didn't have to,
yeah, exactly.
especially on Hog,
Like
where I can be more
why take
aggressive.
an even fight when you could just cheat, right? Like why would I drop down here and shoot a motherfucker when I can just stay up here and shoot the motherfucker? Now, again, if they're about to cap it, yeah, you gotta drop, and that's just how the game
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
That's what point pressure is to force you off of the high ground, and that's
And
just
I
part of the
guarantee you,
game.
if I haven't played Reinhardt on this map yet, but I guarantee you, if I was, I'd probably be down there. I feel like my Reinhardt positioning has improved, but I definitely try to be more aggressive with it and push
Yeah,
them.
and
Especially in our comp games, I rarely ever die, which
yeah.
is good.
Now I
But
think another huge example of this whole point pressure type shit. Look at this fucking Havana map, man. Look at this egregious ass Havana map. Think about this entire map in your brain real quick. Like the cart is in the middle of the open the entire time. Look at
yeah,
this shit. Look at this shit. Like,
yeah, and there's a high ground on the right too, where they have
yes,
cover and everything.
yes. It's just so fucked up. Like, the cart is just so open. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where, you know, your DPS are gonna be able to shoot. Like, let's say the cart's right here, right? And everybody's alive. Yeah, the tank. As a tank, you're probably gonna have to sit here and anchor the cart, right? Still play around the wall. You know what I'm saying? Not out in the open, but just enough to stall the cart, right? While everybody else is having fun shooting at everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody else is having fun.
Yeah, everybody else is having fun being like, oh, look at this fucker. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And, like, the only exception to that is really second point. I feel like second point is actually pretty interesting, honestly, on this map. I don't know what everybody else feels about it, but I think this is an interesting point. Just because, like, yeah, this point also has high ground, but the attackers also have really good access to the high ground, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that first point, the attackers gotta fucking fight you for that fucking shit, right?
Yeah, because here rarely I see them get a lot of card progress before they won a fight.
Yeah.
I rarely see them get a lot of progress during a fight or before one. They
Yeah.
usually win it and then push it a
And
bunch.
you wanna know something crazy? You can stall a cart from up here.
Wow.
Yeah, you could
It's
just
kinda
you could
stupid.
just sit right here and they can't move it.
I could just sit there on Ryan and
Yes.
nothing they can do.
Yes, you can. Dude, why do you think Caliseo is so bad? Caliseo is disgusting for that.
Oh yeah, I remember you said it yesterday when I was suffering on Junkrat.
Yeah, I think I like missed the timing though. But I did try to do it and I remember saying something about it. But yeah, on bridge, you can block the push bot completely. Either
By
right
standing
here,
there?
yeah, like either right here, stalls him, or right here. And if you're Reinhardt, it'll still work. You'll just sit here with your shield. They can't do fucking shit about it. Like, they gotta come deal with you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's much more likely they'll just eventually try to pop the 2000 HP shield instead.
yep.
Because they don't have a lot of good access to me.
So yeah, and with this stuff, like, let's say the cart's over here again, right? Like, it's worth it to stay up here and shoot at them. Rather than just run at them on the even ground, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I felt like talking
And
about the
because
Havana.
because I usually play things like Junk and Roadhog, I brawl them unnecessarily uh low because of I have two
Yeah,
shotguns.
just because you're brawly doesn't mean you have to be
Yeah,
up in their
yeah.
grill, you know? I
I
mean,
make that mistake a lot on especially Junk or Queen.
but I'm not trying to get you twisted here. Tank, you are gonna anchor a lot on tank. You just gotta know when to anchor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you just don't need to, man. It's just too much of a risk. It's gonna feel like, oh my god, they're pushing the fucking cart. What am I gonna do? It's like, bro, you'll be all right.
I don't have too much experience in our comps for Reinhardt because I think we only had a single game where